Hi guys, I actually didn't even plan to make this video, but since I got more requests for it than I expected to, I decided to do it after all. A short while ago I did a video, Nexus 5X against LG G4 and also Nexus 5X against Samsung Galaxy A5, but what I didn't do back then was LG G4 versus Samsung Galaxy A5 2016. I just didn't think it was interesting enough, but a lot of people were asking us just about these two, so let's get into that. In terms of design and build quality, I still give it to the Samsung Galaxy A5 2016. I think it's one of the best built phones right now off the market. Even though it's just maybe a premium mid-ranger, it feels super substantial, super premium, nice design, small bezel, just amazingly done. With glass on glass, of course, it's a little bit of personal choice, but this doesn't mean the LG G4 is built cheap. A few people still might call it that, but if you maybe get the leather back or something like that, it shouldn't be an issue. Personally for me, I didn't feel cheap at all, but it was a little bit too big for me, so you should maybe consider that. The plastic though felt super nice and the actual design of the phone felt super comfortable in the hand, so I really like that, but I still, just because of the more premium feel, give it to the Samsung Galaxy A5. Same would kind of go for the screen. Even though we have a higher resolution display on the G4 and it is a really wonderful display, I slightly favor AMOLED these days, and that's why I give it a slight little win, because it is a flagship level display. Super sharp, super nice and brilliant colors, a little bit oversaturated, I get that, and if you want the more accurate colors, go for the G4 and it definitely won't disappoint you. Both screens are super great, but if you want the best blacks and best contrast, the A5 wins. But I have to say one thing, the G4 in my opinion still is, I think, the best IPS display in terms of black levels, so really nicely done. It's just a little bit not that vibrant and vivid, and it isn't the brightest screen out there. In terms of sound quality for the speakers, I can't really choose a winner. If I would have to, maybe the G4, because it was slightly louder but therefore slightly more muffled. The A5 though was a little bit on the weaker side. If we talk about the headphone jack quality, I would give it to the A5, because I think Samsung makes a really nice headphone jack audio output quality and it sounds really rich and loud enough. The G4 wasn't bad, but a few people actually complain about it not being loud enough. For my quite short testing, I have to say it was kind of satisfying enough. If you talk about performance though, this is where the G4 wins hands down, because it still has the 808 from Snapdragon or for Qualcomm, which is just a more capable CPU. It still didn't perform quite on a super high-end flagship level as I expected to be, because it just wasn't super smooth, but it was mostly lag-free. With 3GB it should be also more future-proof and was overall more light, and this is something that I can't say for the A5 2016, because this one, at least in my opinion, is still a little bit too laggy. If it would have been closer to something maybe like the Samsung Galaxy S5 Neo, this phone would have gotten my fullest recommendation. It would be the budget phone to buy if you want a really premium phone with a good performance, but I still think it just doesn't perform as good as it maybe should. Considering the price, this is definitely something to think of. In terms of battery life though, this is once again where the A5 wins super easily, because 6-7 hours of screen on time without any issues. It is a really two-day phone without any problems, where the G4 actually disappointed me, because I only got screen on times of about 3.5 to maybe 4 hours, maybe a little bit more on Wi-Fi, but the mixed use in data wasn't really that good, and I saw people getting a lot more. Maybe my use wasn't just that good with a Snapdragon 808, because it just behaves different like older SoCs, so keep that in mind. It could be a little bit better, but it's still far off from the Samsung Galaxy A5 2016. Now, if you talk about the software, this is a big difference here. I think the A5 is a little bit more capable. Samsung is a lot more lightweight this time. Updates are coming. Marshmallow isn't there, but should come, I think, pretty soon. But definitely the more overall faster updates and better experience you should maybe actually get from the G4 in this case, because it is still a flagship, will get the updates earlier, and the LG UI is still very capable. Maybe not the prettiest one anymore, but still super capable, super solid, very lightweight. So overall, definitely in this case the better one. On the S7, I think TouchWiz does a little bit of a better job, but since we don't have Marshmallow yet on the A5, that's why I can't give it the win. Now, if you talk about cameras, it should be quite easy, but I think still the A5 holds up quite well, because it is easy to shoot, nice output quality, and it gets really nice shots also for the video. But of course the G4 wins here, because we have 4K video, we have way more manual controls, it's just a way more capable, and it's not without a good reason one of the best cameras of 2015, and can easily still hold up with some of the 2016 flagships. So the A5 is a really nice camera, but it G4 wins hands down. So which one should you get if you are interested? So I would say if you want a more premium device and the best possible battery life, a really nice display, but still a good camera, the A5 would be your choice. But I think if you want something maybe more future-proof, battery life isn't that important for you, the feel in hand doesn't have to be the most premium one, but therefore you want a super nice camera, a still very good display, good updates, then the G4 is the one for you. So it really comes down to a personal preference. It's more future-proofness and better camera against maybe the better build quality, premium feel, and therefore better battery life. So it's quite a tough choice, but maybe that's just for me, because if your priority is the best possible camera and the other things that I mentioned, it's the G4. But if you don't really care about the best performance, don't have to have the best camera, but still a good one, and want maybe the nicer or just prefer AMOLED, the A5 definitely is still a legit alternative, with the caveat of not being that super performant. But that would have been it. I still hope it helped you, and if not, still leave all the questions down in the comments. Okay, until next time, bye.